When you hear the name Glock, most people think of a simple, reliable pistol without unnecessary frills. But over the decades, Glock has made several changes and improvements across its generations. Each generation brings something new, whether it's enhanced features, updated ergonomics, or cutting-edge design tweaks. Let's explore what makes each generation of Glock unique and how it evolved into the trusted firearm we know today. Let's start with Generation 1, the original Glock pistol. The story begins in 1982 with the Glock 17, the first polymer-framed pistol to hit the market in a big way. The name 17 wasn't about the magazine capacity, as some might think, but came from being gassed-in Glock's 17th patent. With a 17-round capacity and a rugged, lightweight design, the Gen 1 was groundbreaking. At the time, it stirred up controversy. Critics feared its polymer frame might bypass metal detectors, even though the gun's major components and ammunition were metal. But despite the skepticism, it quickly proved its reliability. It was simple, accurate, and easy to use, qualities that made it popular with law enforcement and civilian shooters alike. The Gen 1 didn't have accessory rails, finger grooves, or interchangeable backstraps. It was as bare bones as it gets. But that simplicity laid the foundation for Glock's reputation as a no-nonsense firearm. Then came Generation 2, which ran from 1988 to 1997. Building on the success of the original, Gen 2 brought subtle but practical improvements. The grip now featured checkering on the front and back straps, providing better control. Internally, Glock made updates to enhance safety and durability. The biggest evolution, though, was in caliber options. Glock expanded its lineup to include popular choices like 40 S&W, 10mm auto, and .357 SIG. This made the Gen 2 appeal to a broader range of shooters, from law enforcement to hunters and competitive marksmen. Externally, the changes were minimal, but the Gen 2 proved that Glock was committed to refining its design without straying from its roots. Generation 3, introduced in 1998, took things a step further. The standout feature of the Gen 3 was the addition of an accessory rail. This was a game changer, allowing shooters to mount lights, lasers, or other attachments. It made Glock even more versatile for tactical and home defense scenarios. Another significant change was the introduction of finger grooves on the grip. While some shooters appreciated the added control, others found them uncomfortable, sparking a debate that would last through multiple generations. Glock also added thumb rests on either side of the frame for improved ergonomics. Combined with the expanded lineup of calibers and models, including compact and subcompact options, the Gen 3 became one of the most popular Glock generations ever. In 2010, Glock unveiled Generation 4, which brought even more enhancements. One of the most notable upgrades was the dual recoil spring assembly. By adding a smaller spring within the main recoil spring, Glock reduced felt recoil and improved the gun's longevity. This made the Gen 4 smoother to shoot and more comfortable for extended use. Glock also addressed the need for customization by introducing interchangeable backstraps. Shooters could now adjust the grip size to fit their hands perfectly. The magazine release was enlarged, making it easier to operate, especially under stress. Late in its production, Glock introduced the MOS, or Modular Optic System variant, allowing shooters to mount red dot sights without gunsmithing. Although the finger grooves remained, the Gen 4's recoil reduction and user-friendly features made it a favorite among both new and experienced shooters. And now we come to Generation 5, which has been around since 2017. This generation introduced the most visible changes to the Glock platform since its inception. For starters, the finger grooves were finally removed, offering a more universal grip design. Glock made the slide stop ambidextrous, catering to both right and left-handed shooters. They also added forward slide serrations, making it easier to manipulate the slide, especially in tactical scenarios. The Gen 5 introduced the marksman barrel, featuring improved rifling and a recessed crown for enhanced accuracy. Reloading became faster and more intuitive thanks to a flared magwell, which guides the magazine into place during high-pressure situations. A few subtle changes also made a big difference. The slide and frame received beveled edges for a more rounded appearance and improved comfort during concealed carry. Inside the magazine, Glock switched to an orange follower, making it easier to confirm when the mag is empty. And for added safety, the drop safety mechanism was updated for even greater reliability. Glock also reinforced the trigger housing pin and increased the barrel diameter slightly, adding more weight up front to help reduce muzzle rise and recoil. So, what makes Glock stand out after all these years? Despite all these changes, the essence of a Glock remains the same. A plain, simple pistol with minimal controls that performs reliably whenever it's called upon. Each generation has brought meaningful upgrades, keeping Glock relevant in a competitive market. As we look to the future, it's exciting to imagine what Glock might introduce in the next generation. Perhaps an improved trigger system, even greater compatibility with optics, or a return of the finger grooves for those who loved them. Whatever comes next, one thing is certain: Glock's legacy as a reliable, accurate, and easy-to-use firearm is here to stay.